My mother and her sister, after my father was sent overseas, moved to Florida together with me, baby, infant, where my mother had a teaching job. And my aunt, my mother's sister's husband, my uncle, had been sent to Germany. So my father went to the South Pacific, and Uncle Johnny went to Europe. And one day, my mother and her sister were sitting in the living room, I guess, of their house in Florida, or apartment, whatever it was. And a car stopped outside, and a uniformed person got out, and came to the door. And each of them were just, terrified, absolutely terrified. And fortunately, it turned out that it was not a gold telegram. My uncle had been wounded at the Battle of the Bulge. So they were notifying my aunt. The telegram was for her. But he came home from the war, too. He survived. My father was in the Dixie Division, it was called. Mostly Alabama boys, I guess. And their maneuvers had been in Louisiana. So I guess that was a clue that they would be going to the jungles. Because when the ship left Virginia, they weren't told. They didn't know if they were going to Europe or to the South Pacific. But then when the ship turned south, then they knew. He was in the Pacific Theater, as it was called, in World War II. He was in New Guinea, Mindanao, the Philippines, and he brought home, among other things, several different things, he brought home a Japanese flag. I had found the flag in my father's footlocker after he died, even though I had seen it years and years earlier. But after he died, I brought all his stuff back to my house, and there it was. Well, when I heard about the program to return war artifacts to the original owners or their families, as I said, I saw a newspaper article, and then I saw your program on CBS Sunday Morning. I decided that I don't know how my father would feel about it. I really don't, because, of course, he was very much affected by his experiences. And as his sister said one time, he came home a different person. There were a lot of, war is traumatic, whatever. But I decided that if, it just seemed that the right thing to do, to try to return it to family members, if that were possible. And I regret that I hadn't been able to do it earlier, hadn't known about it earlier, because I'm sure, more family members might have been alive.